I guess I'll have to add that to the list. Let's go ahead and watch this other video so we can get off of here. We're gonna watch Ash's death tier list. I love the thumbnail. It's just him with a sword through his chest. That's brutal.
In this video, we're going over Ash's deaths tier list. I never thought I'd say those words, but here we are. You have the troll tier,
the only reason I put this on the list, by the way, was because the title was, what the fuck? What do you mean by that? I know he's died several times, but what are we talking about here?
Tier, the painful tier, and I'm saving the greatest secret tier for the end. Let's start with the troll tier. These are the times Pokemon faked Ash's deaths, or when Ash should have died. First up is when Pokemon made us believe Ash got murdered by a wild Gyarados in Pokemon Journeys. Funnily enough, this happened in an episode featuring Mewtwo, but that isn't what almost killed Ash. As Go and him were traveling to locate Mewtwo's whereabouts, they stumble upon a river, and as they cross
might as well be a Time Lord.
Ash is heard nearby, so they look over, only to find a wild angry Gyarados swimming directly towards Ash. Then suddenly, before anyone can move, Gyarados dive bombs Ash, absolutely demolishing him in the process. Or so it appears, because he apparently jumps right away just in time before Gyarados smashes into the stone.
Dude, you just because you have battle bond with Greninja does not mean you can move like Greninja. Get fucked. You should have died.
Before, we can clearly see Ash not moving and just accepting his fate. But I guess Ash is the Flash or something, just in time before Gyarados smashes into the stone. Yet a few seconds before, we can clearly see Ash not moving.
Huh, guess I'll die then.
But I guess Ash is the Flash or something, since there's no way any normal person can go from here to there in less than a split second. Also, not even a minute later, Ash and Go fall off a waterfall that 100% would have been high enough to kill them on impact, so basically, that's 2 deaths with 1 Gyarados.
Fitz Ash is the chosen one.
Ash falling from really high places, I should also take this moment to acknowledge all the times Ash threw himself off ledges to save his Pokemon. Most notably, you got him jumping off Lumiose Tower, just a 40-story building to save his Pikachu. Literally risking everything without any backup plan in mind, and would have been a pancake if Mega Blaziken hadn't come and rescued them.
Yeah, but not with Ash in it. Ash isn't in the anime anymore. But there's rumors that he might be returning for something. I don't know. Didn't he have Talonflame and Noivern at that point? Like, you couldn't have been like, hey, follow me, like kind of grab me as like as we catch Pikachu. What are you doing?
Also that time in the same series where he jumps into a volcano. Yes, a real
Talonflame.
volcano to save his Talonflame. Like, Ash, how are you saving Talonflame if your destination is literal magma lava? I guess it's the thought that counts, right? But this is just plain stupid. If Froakie didn't evolve into Frogadier, Ash would have actually been toast. Not even a series later, and somehow Ash didn't learn anything from his past attempts of jumping off really high places to save his Pokemon because
people keep trying to theory craft that the new boy. Oh, Roy? No, wasn't that the Prism Tower start of the series? Prism Tower is Lumiose Tower. Oh, I guess you just called it Lumiose Tower because you couldn't think of what the fuck it was called.
Because in Sun and Moon, as Pikachu's fighting Tapu Koko, what do we see them doing again? Oh, Pikachu gets thrown off the side. Better get Ash to fly off as well so he can cushion the fall. Yeah, since that never failed to work. I will admit, I admire the hustle though. He's quick at getting himself killed in action with his Pokemon. Each of these are all going into the troll tier because all of them aren't sad, nor did he die, so they can't be in the painful tier.
Oh yeah, he did literally die
in
the first season.
Playing around with the idea while not exactly going through with it. Since, I mean, if they did, that would be really messed up. Nobody wants to see Ash die from a fall off a 40-story building.
Okay, so we were just counting literally every opportunity where Ash could have possibly died. I see what we're doing now. I did not have all the lights on.
Now, there are other dumb incidents of Ash almost dying that you could put in this tier, like Pikachu electrocuting Ash with his 100,000 bolts of electricity, or when he's getting pushed over ledges, not by his will, almost dying. For example, in the Entei movie, when Charizard comes in clutch at the very last second to save Ash and Pikachu from another very...
Imagine if Charizard still hated him at that point. Charmeleon evolved to save Ash. He evolved to beat Aerodactyl, let's be real. I was gonna go with, oh no, he probably would have still, no, he probably wouldn't. If Charizard still hated him at that point, he probably wouldn't have done shit.
Certain death, which, yeah, at this point, Pokemon loves to tease Ash's deaths. Even in a few scenes later, he almost falls off again, but gets saved by Brock and Misty, along with Team Rocket out of all people. And Team Rocket even breaks the fourth wall, saying the only reason they helped Ash is because if he dies, they would be out of the show business, which honestly is a very true remark. Moving on to the sad tier, the tier that is the deaths that made us
still out
shed
of
a little tear.
they're-
The first one
They're not even in the series anymore. Jesse, James, Meowth. They aren't in the series either.
has to be Ash's first and most famous movie death from the Pokemon movie Mewtwo Strikes Back. Mewtwo was low-key a savage here, thinking all clones are superior in every way to organic life, and thus making a clone army in order to fight and take over the world. But Ash, along with his friends and Pokemon, say otherwise. This is where we see a little battle going on, and I do mean little. This battle kinda went slow motion. I remember this fight when I was younger being a little more intense, but each Pokemon is just kind of wrestling with each other, trying to knock out the other. Mewtwo and Mew are duking it out in the sky. The Pokemon are falling down.
To be fair, the only ones legitimately fighting, I think, are Mewtwo and Mew.
To the fatigue of them battling in an even match. Ash at this point has had enough. Mew and Mewtwo charge up a powerful attack, ready to release it at each other, when Ash suddenly steps onto the scene, running directly towards the center of the blast, yelling them to stop, and, well, he gets pulverized. Or in this case, he actually turned into solid titanium, or whatever that material is. Although, this part in particular wasn't really the sad part. It's when Pikachu runs over, trying to wake up Ash with his half-baked electricity, tired from the fighting.
I'm getting
to help his
goosebumps
partner,
just
who has
watching the
always
scene
gone out
again.
of his
Fuck
way to
off.
help him, and Pikachu starts tearing up.
I just want to know what move Mew and Mewtwo used. It's time to start crying. We're all adults here. We're gonna cry. I can't wait to get copyright claim for playing the entire scene.
Oh, how this got all the kids crying back in the day. And if that was you at some point, that's great, because Ash ended up healing back to life somehow from everyone's tears. Yeah, I did find this a little odd, as every other time Ash quote-unquote died, he was revived by another Pokemon. I guess for the Mew's legendary
So Psystrike just turns you into solid titanium?
powers, all you really need to recover from them is a bunch of tears, since after all the Pokemon finish crying, he comes right back to life. So while yes, this is sad, I was tempted to actually put this in the painful tier instead. But it's a classic, and it was sad when I was younger, so this death deserves to be in the sad tier. The next time Ash died is by these weird orange blobs during the Pokemon movie Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. This death sequence was an interesting one to say the least. After Ash had awakened Lucario by being the ore farmer that he is, this big old tree called the Tree of Beginning starts to become the Tree of Ending, as the aura is left imbalanced, which leads to both of them rushing into the tree so they can fix the imbalance with the help of their aura. Aura is just life force, and Ash happens to be a master with it, similar to the Force in Star Wars, but in the Pokemon version, you can't move rocks with it. As that's going down,
You can't.
Mew in this movie is one of the guards for the tree, attracted to its aura since the Tree of Beginning produces a lot of aura, which attracts
See you,
the aura
Toronto. We're
farmers,
almost done
literally.
anyway.
And Mew, being the Mew that it is, accidentally removes the relic from the tree since it thought it was
Okay, I thought it was an actual Hitmontop. I didn't realize it was a toy. This entire time, he's just I thought he was just playing with a Hitmontop. Like it was a top.
a toy, which sends the kill squad of Reggies and giant orange blobs to remove all life forces besides Pokemon. These blobs were very successful at this because every human in that tree died basically, including Ash, Team Rocket, and his friends. Now, Ash's death alone arguably wasn't as sad as the first movie, but it's the events leading up to his death that
Oh no,
really got,
it's this.
honestly, very dark and tragic. The first to go was
It's them releasing their Pokemon as they get thrown in
Team
there.
Rocket, and just seeing Chad James releasing his Pokemon from his pocket before he gets reduced to nothing leaves such a dark vibe for the rest of the movie. Like later, May is watching her younger brother Max dying right in front
No,
of
this
her
was-
eyes
this
by
was
this giant
sad.
blob of goo, taking all his aura energy along with Brock, which is low-key crazy for a movie meant for 10-year-olds. So yeah, when it came time for Ash's death, even without the super sad music, everything about this feels so tragic. I don't know how else to describe it. Pikachu does cry with the rest of Ash's other Mons, although it wasn't as good as the first movie. Still, this is gonna get all the kids crying again for sure. But since Pokemon doesn't want to scar millions of younglings across the world, Mew, using its powers, restores everyone's aura. Yet, the day isn't saved yet because they still had to return the relic to the tree. Because Mew was tired after healing everyone, Lucario and Ash had to use their aura powers to return the relic. Ultimately, Lucario had to sacrifice himself to save all of them since he didn't want Ash to die as well. And cause Lucario isn't a main character here, he doesn't get revived. Poor Lucario. This Ash death, while not being—
He was also technically like an ancient, super old Lucario, right? I think that it's fitting.
the saddest of them all, is still going to be in the sad tier. The next death, which really broke me as a kid, was during the black and white Victini movie, one of the best movies, where his death here begins when a giant sword-shaped island gets removed from the ground via Victini, whom he is not doing this from its own will. Instead, this guy Damien thinks he can restore his homeland using Victini's powers. Little did he know, this sword island wasn't supposed to be removed, since it destabilizes the land, and with Ash trying
We put that there for a reason!
to free Victini on it, well, we're kind of in for a wild ride. The sword thing keeps rising upwards in the sky, becoming corrupted from being removed. Damien realizes his mistake and tries to help save Ash and Victini, but it's too late. They're already now trapped inside, behind this thick layer of ruins. The air pressure becomes dense. The temperature is dropping each second due to them continuing to rise up higher in the skies, causing Ash to
Victini,
shut down.
you
and
are a
collapse.
fire
Damien,
type.
along with Reshiram and Zekrom, who were summoned after the sword itself was lifted, try to break the surrounding barrier.
Use
to free
overheat
them.
or something.
But it seems time's finally up for Ash. At this point, he knows it's too late. He tells Victini,
I'm really sorry. I know I promised you. I'd take you to the ocean.
Victini, you are a fire type. Put that thing back where it came
not
from,
even
or so
5
help
seconds
me.
later, Victini revives Ash. Nah, but this death was sad. The part that really got
It's gonna heat him up. Oh. I'll be going now. I'm back. But no.
Victini was so sweet to Ash in this movie. Its final sacrifice actually felt earned. Like, they actually formed such a good bond to the point where I was genuinely pissed off when Ash never caught Victini after the movie ended. Since, yeah, unlike Lucario,
fucking
Victini's
gears
death
turning.
is a fake out death. Great movie though. This was one of my favorites when I was younger, because Victini is just awesome. One of the saddest and most brutal Ash deaths of them all was from the Pokemon movie I Choose You. Essentially, Ash
this
here
one.
was chosen by Ho-Oh and given a rainbow wing, which is only given out to trainers Ho-Oh deems worthy, so we're off to a good start. Yet, that's not going to stop Ash from encountering danger in this movie, which of course he does, firstly by meeting this dude Cross, who is the main villain, and Marshadow, who makes Ash go sicko mode, fully possessing him at one point to see if he actually was worthy of holding onto the wing. Eventually, Cross gets jealous of Ash having the wing and not him, since he also thinks he's worthy. So he straight up murks the
I also like how they changed the whole I can't remember the trainer's name, but there was a whole thing about the Charmander. Now it's not that guy's Charmander, it's this guy's Charmander.
feather from Ash, but because he isn't in fact a worthy responsible trainer, the wing becomes corrupted. Marshadow sees this and then takes the wing, but it releases dark energy to all nearby Pokemon, and then they all go sicko mode. Ash at this point is the only one who can restore the wing back to normal since he's the chosen one. So Ash fights Marshadow for the wing, Pikachu gets bodied, the corrupt Pokemon are now closing in, about to unleash a flurry of attacks, and everyone else that was with Ash previously was too far back to do anything to help, so he tells Pikachu to get back into his Pokeball. Pikachu obviously refuses and tries to fight back, but Ash knows not even Pikachu can do anything here, so he hugs onto Pikachu, blocking the oncoming attacks, getting absolutely blasted, barely surviving at this point. So Ash crawls towards Pikachu, since he knows that they can't withstand another 15 Hyper Beams. He says one last time to him to get into the ball, and then Pikachu starts speaking human for the first time, but the attacks are coming, and it's too late. So he forces Pikachu into the Pokeball just in time, and the huge devastating blast accumulates the area, leaving him there 50% transparent. Pikachu hops out of the ball, and he sees his friend slowly fading away. Then Pikachu absolutely sells this next scene flawlessly. Meanwhile, Ash is in the afterlife or whatever, running back to reality. Pikachu sees that there's an opening in time and space and hops right into it, falling into Ash's arms. If you're wondering how the heck Ash came back from the death after previously getting obliterated, it's 100% due to Ho-Oh, since this was all part of his test as a worthy trainer. And I don't know about you guys, but
No, the feather was a respawn token. Ash totally died. That was his one respawn.
after this, I'd say he's pretty worthy. This death is by far the most brutal out of them all, but it's also the saddest, so I'll keep it in this tier. But man, was this a crazy death. Moving on to the deaths that aren't sad, just normal painful deaths. Let's begin with the time Ash became an actual ghost.
Yeah, the one
alongside
time he
Pikachu
actually
and Tower of
died.
Terror from the original series. While this one's a classic, Ash and Pikachu get brutally killed by a chandelier that falls on their heads, dying from impact, but then their spirits get lifted by Haunter, where they become actual living ghosts for the rest of the episode. Ash at first wanted to go back to being alive again, but found it being pretty fun as his ghost self, going straight to teasing Misty, lifting her up, trying to get a reaction, which is crazy that ghosts can easily interact with the real world. Yet after all the fun, he snaps back to
Crazy that ghosts can interact. Brother, it's Pokemon. There are ghosts everywhere. The fuck do you mean?
reality, wanting to continue his goal, become
It's not like when I tell Gengar to use Fire Punch, it goes through the other Pokemon because he's incorporeal.
Pokemon Master, so he returns to his body and wakes up to Misty and Brock. I didn't know it was that simple to be revived from death. All he does here is plop right back into his body and poof, he's alive again. Likely, it has something to do with Haunter, but still. Relative to all of Ash's other deaths, this one he actually
I also love how he never actually caught that Haunter, but he gave it to Sabrina anyway.
died in. Because how did he become a ghost if he didn't? Plus, he was in the sequence for a hot minute. A death that lasted only a few seconds.
But he did
happened
get a
in the
Gengar.
Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea, where this death again isn't sad, but very brutal and painful because Ash basically drowned in a giant submerged island temple. Ash and May, along with Manaphy, are now tasked with trying to restore the Heart Crown back to its original place. But it's too late. At this point, water rushes in, flooding in all the exits. Ash now makes a last-ditch effort to make sure May and the rest stay safe while he goes to restore the Heart Crown on his own. Ash is a W-mans for going forward with this, doing parkour around the temple with a
W-mans.
smile on his face, determined to return the Heart Crown or else him and May will both die there. However, Ash's determination only takes him so far this time as he succumbs to the water and no longer can breathe. Floating up, no motion, eyes closed, body collapsed. This is where he dies for the 1,000,000,000th time in the show, and would have remained dead had Manaphy not been there, because Manaphy unconsciously used Heart Swap to heal Ash, allowing him to temporarily breathe again so he can restore the Heart Crown piece back into place, completing his mission, stabilizing the giant underwater temple, and subsequently saving them all from drowning. More of a heroic sacrifice than a sad one, so gonna be in the painful tier, as drowning is one of the worst ways to go out. So here's the full tier list on screen with everything I've
I told
selected. Pikachu electrifying Ash with 100,000 volts of electricity, no matter the current, and him still surviving every time, has to go into a tier of its own at this point. So this is the super great secret tier that I was saving for the end.
There's a thing
which
going on in the-
I'm naming the
There's
immortal
a-
tier, because Ash could be cooked.
There's a thing going on in the background that will be made apparent soon.
But is still standing. And I don't care if his shoes are slightly absorbing the power, it's 100,000 volts. Ash is immortal, which is actually very similar to one of the conspiracy theories I go over in this video on the screen to the right, where I talk about the top 10 conspiracy theories in Pokemon.
Oh,
Why
the
is Ash
immortal
still
is
10?
the immortal is literally just every time he gets zapped. Okay, whatever. All right, funny video. Good job, Gooey. Good job. Go watch Gooey. Good job. He's a Goodra, and we like Goodra.